Mazda was competing against the Nissan 350Z and the Audi TT with a car powered by an engine the industry had largely abandoned. This is how they chose to argue the case. This is the Mazda RX-8 United Kingdom sales brochure, January 2005. 28 pages. The cover is mostly empty. A velocity red nose, low and close, emerging from white space. Above it, in grey, the quietest possible headline: Drive the Revolution. And below, without apparent self-consciousness, Zoom Zoom. Open the cover and the first spread announces itself as both a contents page and a manifesto. Dominating the spread, a long exposure photograph of the instrument cluster. The tachometer needle swept into a blur of red light. The digits 8, 9, 10 visible through the motion blur. The copy on the left begins without preamble. More than just a sports car, Mazda RX-8 is a journey that began with the development of the RENESIS rotary engine, and Mazda's engineers setting out to build a visionary sports car around it. The chapter headings running beneath it are themselves small promises, each one a compressed instruction. See it. Give in to the feeling. An unforgettable sound. Dare to be different. The last one is doing a great deal of work. The tachometer on the right is doing the rest. The next full spread is a single visual argument. On the left, a tightly cropped detail, a driver's face behind aviator sunglasses, the RX-8 reflected faintly in the lenses. On the right, the car itself, velocity red, in motion, taken from above and ahead, the road a smear of tarmac and bleached grass. Then the copy, which commits fully. From the first glimpse, Mazda RX-8 tells you it's something out of the ordinary, a designer's vision, made real. It continues. Crouched low to the tarmac, poised for action, high wheel arches that hint at superior handling. Finishing. A sports car like no other. The photography is doing the heavier lifting. The copy knows this and is sensibly brief. The cockpit spread opens across both pages with a headline in large grade type. It's your road. With every twist, turn, dip and incline, feel its challenge. Overcome it. Then, own it. The left page carries a triptych along the top. Tachometer face, steering wheel center, a hand gripping the gear lever. And below them, a full dashboard in available light. Red leather steering wheel, afternoon sun washing across the fascia. The right page carries the copy. With its emphasis firmly on you, every control, gauge and dial is intuitively positioned, creating a seamless driving experience. Then, the specification. 2 versions, 192 PS or 231 PS, both with 18-inch alloys. Climate control. Premium Bose audio with 6 CD auto changer. The optional satellite navigation, the brochure notes, is only available when purchasing leather, a detail that has not aged especially well as a value proposition. The engine spread is the center of the document, and the brochure knows it. Mazda has given it the full treatment, 2 facing pages working as one complete argument, the left dense with technical illustration and copy, the right a single large atmospheric photograph that provides the emotional answer to the engineering case being made opposite. On the left, an exploded rendering of the RENESIS engine at the top, all aluminium castings and cross-sections. Down the left margin, 5 sequential photographs showing the combustion cycle. Intake, compression, compression again, combustion, exhaust. Each stage occurring, the caption explains, in a different section of the engine housing. Then the copy. Much smaller and lighter than a conventional piston engine, all the parts of a rotary engine spin around a central shaft. There is no up and down piston movement. So as combustion occurs, the rotor immediately turns, increasing potential engine revs with virtually no vibration. And because rotary engines only have 3 main moving parts, compared with at least 40 in even the simplest piston engine, power delivery is incredibly smooth and refined. 3 moving parts against 40. It is the brochure's single most quotable engineering claim. 2 versions. 231 PS with a 9,000 revolutions per minute limit, 192 horsepower with a 7,500 revolutions per minute limit. Both described as delivering, and the word is precise, smooth acceleration and exhilarating power output. At the foot of the left page, 2 Engine of the Year award plaques, 2003, 2004. On the right page, facing all of this, a grey RX-8 on a mountain road at golden hour. Warm sky, long shadows, just the car and the landscape. And above it, in large pale type, the second half of the spread's title, An Unforgettable Sound. The next spread pairs the brochure's most technical page with a dramatic sunset photograph, and the contrast is deliberate. On the left, a velocity red RX-8 lit against streaking amber light, full frontal, the background reduced to horizontal smears of light behind it. On the right, the chassis page, which earns its density. It's all about the lure of the open road, its promises and its thrills, always urging rebellion, always leading towards freedom. The lyricism lasts 1 paragraph, then Mazda's engineers take over. The centerpiece of the right page is an X-ray ghost render, the car's shell translucent in velocity red, the internal structure visible beneath. The powertrain sitting low and rearward behind the front axle, the fuel tank ahead of the rear axle, weight concentrated toward the center. Perfect 50-50 weight distribution and a low center of gravity. The text works methodically through the underpinnings. Double wishbone front suspension, multi-link rear. DSC, dynamic stability control, applying brake force to individual wheels. LSD, limited slip differential, managing traction under hard acceleration. 3 small diagrams at the foot illustrate the door structure, body backbone, and the strengthening V-brace at the rear. The engineering here is genuine. Against the night photograph on the left, the spread is arguing 2 things at once, that the car is visceral and that it is precise. It makes both cases without contradiction. A winning blue RX-8 from the rear quarter in clinical blue-white light, caught mid-corner on what appears to be a motorway flyover. Above, when the irresistible call of the road comes, make sure you're ready. The pages open out to reveal a 4-page spread of an extended close study of the car in motion. No copy, no headlines, no captions beyond the model disclaimer in small type at the foot of the left page. A low front 3/4 shot of the car in motion, the near side flank glowing warm orange, the wheels spinning, the Mazda badge on the front bumper catching the last of a pale sunset. 4 pages, 1 picture, 1 sentence. The Doors spread is the RX-8's most audacious claim, and the one that has aged with the most complexity. A large photograph dominates the spread. A woman in white, silhouetted and slightly blurred, walking toward a velocity red RX-8 at dusk. Both the front and rear doors on both sides stand open simultaneously, creating one continuous, unobstructed opening from dashboard to rear quarters. The interior glows amber. The sea is visible through the car on the far side. On the right, the headline names it. A unique 4-door sports car. Share the experience. Then the central claim. Its clever, pillarless freestyle doors create a surprisingly spacious opening when the front and rear doors are fully open, providing unparalleled access to the vehicle without compromising safety standards. The front doors open to 67 degrees, the rear to 80. The reinforced rear door structure forms, the brochure explains, an integrated B-pillar when closed, which is the engineering solution to having no B-pillar at all. Mazda RX-8 is writing a fresh new chapter in the history of the sports car. The rear passenger, it should be noted, requires the front passenger to open their door first. The brochure does not dwell on this. The interior spread opens with a heading that continues the brochure's habit of issuing instructions. Push yourself to the limit. Climb inside. There are 2 rows of photographs. Above, the interior shot from the passenger side, and below it, to the left, the instrument cluster and steering wheel straight on. And on the right page, 5 detail shots. An air vent, the 3-spoke steering wheel, the gear knob with its shift gate cast in a triangular rotary shape, a Bose speaker grille, and the center console controls. The copy calls it a playground for the senses. It then lists 9-speaker Bose premium audio, 3-sectioned instrument cluster, large central tachometer, digital speedometer, sculpted individual sports seats, aluminium finishes. All accurate, and all, in January 2005, genuinely competitive. This spread presents both cars together for the first time. On the left, a dark graphite 230, and on the right, a red 190, parked in still air outside a Civic building with wide, pale steps and a grid of floor-to-ceiling glazing. Late sun, wet ground, no movement. Revolutionize your senses. Test drive Mazda RX-8 today. The accessories spread opens with the brochure's final commanding headline, Dare to be different. The left page carries the copy and a numbered grid of 12 items. They run from the practical to the specifically devotional. Items 1 to 3, front air dam skirt, side deflector, rear under deflector, body kit components. Sensible. Item 4, satellite navigation. Items 5 and 6 are where things become interesting. Air outlet fins for the front wings, and a rotary crest, a small aluminium badge shaped like the rotor itself, available for the lower front grille. Item 10, an illuminated gear lever knob. Item 11, a matching handbrake lever grip in red leather. On the right, a 190 in velocity red posed against an architectural exterior, the accessory polished alloy wheels fitted, the air outlet fins in place. The car looks shiny, the building looks expensive. The financial spread, with a single large photograph across the top, the RX-8 parked on what appears to be a promenade, both pairs of Freestyle Doors open, 4 figures walking in the warm background light. The mood is not the mood of hire purchase documentation. Mazda has tried, and the doors are doing the work they always do in this brochure. The terms and conditions occupy a full column of the right-hand page. They are, as terms and conditions tend to be, exempt from the revolution. The RX-8 was discontinued in 2012. The RENESIS couldn't satisfy emissions regulations that had no patience for its particular genius. 9 years of production, no successor. Here is what was lost. A naturally aspirated engine producing 175 brake horsepower per litre, spinning to 9,000 revolutions per minute, in a chassis with perfect weight distribution and suspension geometry that made the car feel like an extension of the driver's intention rather than a negotiation with one. It handled, in the precise sense of that word, better than almost anything at its price point. It was genuinely, structurally different, not as a marketing claim, but as an engineering fact. The cover says, "Drive the revolution," and for 9 years people did. Then the fuel economy figures arrived, and the Apex Seal replacement bills, and finally the emissions regulations, and the revolution was over. Not defeated on its own terms, just outmaneuvered by the mundane.